Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. You don't, like, have cool, like, scoping out a butt and being like, okay, that butt's like a love seat butt. I'm gonna sell them on the best love seat.
Nah. There's not a whole lot of butt looking. It's more or less. I'm going to show you the most expensive shit. I'm going to talk about getting you on a mattress because that's where I make my real money.
Okay,
That's where I make my
that
real
tracks
money,
with construction. Like I'll talk about getting people on a mattress.
I like that idea though. He's like, sir, with a dump truck like that, the only recliner for you is this Barca right here.
Yeah. Look, brother, I see you swing a big dick. You're gonna need like extra like lumbar support because I can tell that it's hell on your back every day. So, okay, you guys, if I remember right, were excited because you were hoping to talk about Snake Eyes, which unfortunately is not happening, correct?
Yeah. So we are in and around the Atlantic City area, like both born and raised. All three of us are born and raised.
Oh, that is perfect.
Our first episode we ever did was Snake Eyes. We had to.
Yes. Yeah, that leads into everything I want to talk about today because I really just I've always been curious about Atlantic City as somebody who's been to Vegas plenty of times.
It's not the same.
No, it's not. And
it's not even close.
You did describe yourself as AC curious earlier today. So.
Yeah, I'm AC curious. I just got to know more about this city. Like, is it dirty? You've got a boardwalk, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not as dirty as it was like 5 years ago.
It's still pretty dirty, dude.
it's still grimy. Like there's nice sections, and then there's like it's not as bad as people say. Like whenever I hear people like, "Oh, don't go to Lake City, you'll get stabbed," I'm like, "No, you'll get robbed. You won't get stabbed."
Okay. Yeah, very rarely do they expend the effort to do the actual stabbing. They will take shit though.
Listen, we know what we're good at. It's slinging crack and taking your money at blackjack tables.
I have a very important question. What's the buffet sitch, and how is the shrimp presented?
Ooh, good question. This is relevant for me.
Yeah, I worked briefly as security in a casino in Atlantic City when I was in college, and I was told under no uncertain terms to avoid the buffet, and I have always followed that. So I don't have any practical experience with it.
So I have a lot of practical experience because in my college years and even up to today, in my college years, I was much heavier, not like fatter. Like I played a lot of poker.
Oh, that kind of heavy.
And that's how I paid for my last 2 years of college was through playing poker.
Dude, sick.
So I know a lot of buffets. The Showboat, which is not a casino anymore, had a really good one. The shrimp was not presented in any special way. The Borgata, the brunch one, the Borgata is like the high-end casino there, will put their shrimp already peeled around a martini glass.
That was my question. Like,
yeah, that's pretty perfect.
Peter and I have
a problem.
Have a shrimp problem, but like the first time we were in Vegas together and we were at a brunch buffet, we were like, let's get weird with some shrimp, and it was all peel and eat, and we tuck it out quick.
Bullshit. That's too much work.
And then we were just there a month ago and went to the Wynn buffet, and we got shrimpy.
Wait, in Vegas?
In Vegas.
You see, I haven't been to Vegas in about 2 years now at this point, and when I went, the only buffet that was open was the MGM Grand.
Oh,
which
was
great because I stayed there for 3 days, so I just fucked up the buffet.
That's where we went the first time. Yeah, but they're
peel and eat.
Peel and eat shrimp. Fuck that shit.
Also,
that's too much
they only
work.
had like 7 shrimp out at a time, like laid on a bed of ice.
They saw us coming so fast, and they were like, "These motherfuckers, put out the slow shrimp."
Slow shrimp for the slow boys.
Yeah.
But Peter, how many shrimp did you eat in a sitting?
I did eat 40 shrimp the last time, which was a gross amount of.
That's too many shrimp.
No. That's respectable. Do you ever get the frozen wheel from the grocery store?
Fuck yeah.
I have
Nobody's
not.
stopping you from just buying it. You don't have to be having a party or anything. You could just buy like 60 cocktail shrimps in a wheel. The hardest part is just waiting for them to defrost.
That's true. Yeah. And I don't have that patience. I'm just going to chow down.
Oh no, you got a Safeway right before closing. They're defrosted.
Yeah. My girlfriend's allergic to shrimp, and I would go to Safeway and get the like $5 like mini shrimp cocktail and just car snack it and make her drive me around. She's a lovely woman, but
You're a monster. I love it.
but
Shrimp
like,
is a bold car snack, man.
yeah, and
Especially
she had
with
to
the
like
cocktail
open the
sauce.
doors and stuff because she didn't want me touching things with my shrimp fingers afterwards. And
Oh, Peter, at my company lunch yesterday, one of the hors d'oeuvres was bacon wrapped shrimp.
How many did you eat?
They wouldn't give me the tray.
were they shrimps or
Fuckers.
prawns?
Cowards.
They were shrimp.
I mean, which
oh, they were big shrimp, like the shrimp we had in
Yeah.
Vegas.
Oh,
okay.
look at you working for a company that has luncheons.
It was
La-ti-da.
yeah. No, I asked if they'd give me the tray, and they said no.
No, fuckers.
Yeah.
That's some horse shit.
Oh, have you seen this whole Panera charged lemonade bullshit?
Yep.
Like
the
I just
death
heard about
lemonade.
this on
Wait,
What?
no, I'm out of the loop on this.
Is this like a Panera Four Loco?
well, there's no alcohol, but a large
Oh, so worse. Okay.
yeah, a charged like a large charged lemonade has like 400 milligrams of caffeine in it. People on Reddit were going on about it the other day.
Oh, there's a lawsuit about it.
Oh, there's a lawsuit?
Two people have died.
Cowards.
I go to the gym with somebody who uses his pre-workout. Like it just rung in my brain. I'm like, wait a minute. I do know what you're talking about because somebody that I lift with literally uses it as fucking pre-workout, which is insanity.
I am kind of intrigued to like get some and dump like grain alcohol in it and just sort of relive the Four Loko days. The Four Loko days, just the combination of
It was
too
incredible.
much caffeine and too much alcohol. I miss those days a little bit. It would probably kill me at this age.
Bro, that's just Riot Punch.
Oh God, what was it? A friend, some friends of mine and I, when Revenge of the Sith came out, we decided to stay up all night, get drunk, and then go watch it. But he was exhausted by the time we finally got there at like 10 in the morning. So he bought 2 Four Locos and just downed them both in the theater within the first like 10 minutes of the movie and then passed the fuck out.
Yeah, that's
Woke up screaming.
As one does after drinking 2 Four Locos, at least back in the good days.
The classic days, yeah.
Oh, that was the begin. That was middle of the end of his drinking.
Yeah, that'll put anybody off of it. Slamming 2 Four Locos back to back. You
And going
wake
to
up
sleep
screaming. Absolutely. It's
while
so
watching
bad.
Revenge
Episode
of the
1.
Sith.
Oh, it was Revenge of the Sith.
The,
Okay.
the only one worth watching in
Yeah,
the
all right.
prequels.
the bar that I worked at when Four Loko got discontinued. Our liquor rep came by and he was like, "Hey, I got these Four Locos and I can't do anything with them. Do you guys want them?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, the kitchen staff will take all of your Four Loko." So he just gives us like multiple flats of Four Loko out of his van. And so we throw a party that night, just a straight up Four Loko party.
Oh my-
And it's just like going off in the backyard, and like the kitchen manager does a trust fall off of his own roof. There's just like people shoving each other. It's getting loud.
That's
and
too many locos.
Yeah.
How many cans are in a flat?
24.
Someone do some math for me.
How many flats were there?
3, I think.
72.
72.
72, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
72 locos. What?
That's too many locos. Wait,
that's-
no, it's more. Times
more, but
4.
you got times 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to
Or
art college. I'm not doing more math. Someone do math for me and then make my
we need an arithmetician around here. It's not going to be any of us.
No, sorry, I went for political science, so it's even more useless than a math fucking degree.
Woo. I have a degree in
Wait,
drawing
you're not
good.
applying that when selling large derriered people like Barca loungers?
I mean, only if they want to hear the words of the great Karl Marx, but I mean, that's really it.
Have you tried? It might be a new thing. First, check out their ass, and then tell them about.
Tell them about surplus value.
You got to evaluate their ass using like the framing thing.
So did you get through that party with nobody getting charged with a felony?
Nobody was arrested at this one.
That's a lame party.
I don't think it even got busted. So I think the only party that I remember ever getting busted was at my buddy Joey's house, and he used to like drive around and like just roll up to the campus like smoke shacks and be like, having a party. Anybody want to come over to my house? And just like invite strangers. Like usually it'd be like a bunch of freshmen and stuff would be like, yeah, I need a place to drink. But the cops bust this party and I'm outside smoking a cigarette and this kid's like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. I can't like be holding this weed and I'm too young to be drinking. And I'm like, well, toss that bag in the barbecue there and that'll be fine. They'll never look in the barbecue. Then hop the fence and book it. And so he does. And then I just take his weed and I never saw this kid again anyway. So like, it's like, oh, this plan worked out great. One of the kids that jumped over, like landed in the neighbor's koi pond and like actually landed on some very expensive fish.
Oh, fuck.
But I mean, I got a free 40 sack out of it. So I didn't care. It wasn't my house or anything. I just partied on the roof all the time.
Poor fish.
And with that, because there is no good segue tonight, welcome back to Cage Mat's colon a roundabout way of meeting Nicolas Cage. I'm your host, Sean, here with my co-host,
Nick. I'm Nick.
And our producer,
Peter. Hello.
And from Nic Cage Fight, we have some special guests. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Josh, and here with my usual co-host.
Hi, I'm Rich. I'm the one who is talking now.
Well done. You guys are fucking consummate professionals.
Yeah. You have to know the voices. I mean, this is a...
When you take us off our intro script, we scramble, dude.
Yeah. I was just like, wait, Josh isn't talking? What do I do? Because it's always Josh is talking, Ryan answers, I answer.
Thanks, Ryan, for fucking it up.
We can just... cut some audio of Ryan from your podcast. And
yeah, we'll just put him in.
We got to put a bye-bye in is what we'll do.
Does he have a good bye-bye?
He ends every episode with a different bye-bye.
Ooh, okay.
I would say if you want to hear some good shit, just go to like part 2 of every single one of our episodes, since we have 2 episodes a week.
If you want to hear something good, skip half of our content.
Not even. I'm asking for 3% of the content.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Listen to one ad read and then just the end.
Yeah. Listen, we need that money.
Yeah. So do you guys want to describe kind of what you do for your show? Obviously, you go deeper than we do because you're doing 2 episodes for 1 movie and we do 1 episode for 2 movies because we're lazy or stupid. I don't know.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
No, we do synopsis and like our opinions, breakdowns, tidbits, trivia, try and figure out what went wrong in a lot of these movies. So like we always
They're all great.
Like we always start with, directors, writers, some of the notable cast, and then basically the plot beats of the film, and then commentary on them. And it does take 2 episodes for every one of these movies because we're a little pedantic about the details.
Yeah.
Seeing as we never do this in any proper order, in this podcast, we take 2 Nicolas Cage films and pit them against each other till one day we decide what the cagiest film is.
Yeah.
We're into our 32.
Yep. Round of 32.
And this is wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the wacky episode.
Sorcerer's Apprentice and Wicker Man.
Yeah.
And do you guys have any sort of strong feelings one way or the other as to which one you would want to talk about?
My whole thoughts on this was like, so the answer is Wicker Man, and we can just talk about anything else, right? Because as far as I know, Sorcerer's Apprentice does not have Nic Cage dressed in a bear costume punching women.
All right, we're getting right to it.
So Wicker Man, we go.
So rewatching this film.
Well, hang on. I have a quick question because we're in the wacky category, and I did not see Between Worlds anywhere on your list.
It's in there. I was chatting to a person on a dating app recently, and I put my Nic Cage podcast on there because I have so much going on in my life. And their first question to me was, did you see the movie where he's a trucker and fucks the ghost of his dead wife through a teenager. I'm like, Between Worlds. Yes, I know it intimately.
Yeah,
Then we
that's
talked
a
about the
deep
poem.
cut pick from somebody.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck! I love when he reads that Nic Cage poetry.
It's so
Oh my
good.
god!
And the
I
Inuit
want
watched.
that to be like a full
Inuit
book, and I want to buy it.
Oh my god! I just want to get it tattooed on my back, full back tattoo.
of that.
So this podcast has introduced us to at least two of my favorite movies of all time that I would have never seen, one of which being Between Worlds and the other one, Josh already knows where I'm going. Fucking Kill Chain.
You did love Kill Chain.
Kill Chain was so good.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
went-
It didn't make the cut for us.
Just watch it. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
watch it.
I mean, for me, the movie that I think I never would have watched or heard about without this podcast, but I absolutely love is Red Rock West.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
just watched that. It's very good.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
That movie fucking slaps. I love it.
I had a guy unsolicited ask me if we watched that, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And he's like, "I love that movie."
It's so good. I'm so excited to go back to that. That's going to be sooner than later. Is it in the next round or the
It
round after?
is next episode.
There you go.
Nice. Oh my god. Everyone get out. I'm going to watch this movie right now.
Yeah, see you guys. Good episode. Thanks.
So, going back to Wicker Man and the punching of women.
Uh huh.
On our first go around with this movie, we decided the appropriate rules for when you can punch a woman, which is when they're trying to burn you in a giant human
Yeah.
effigy. You get one free punch. Rewatching this film with Peter, we realized the one punch he does do, Sister Beach is an asshole.
She's
but
an asshole.
he is in no danger at this point.
No, he definitely. Yeah, it breaks our rule.
He broke the one rule.
And then he roundhouse kicks Lily Sobieski
Oh my God,
immediately.
that was
after.
She
so
did
good.
try. She did jump on his back though. She did attack him.
That's true.
That was
Yeah.
self-defense.
Sister Beach didn't do jack shit. She was just an asshole.
I'm sorry. Wicker Man was such a fever dream that it's entertaining every time I watch it. Whether I'm watching it for the podcast or I'm just throwing it on, I'm just like, this is bonkers. Whereas Sorcerer's Apprentice is fine as like a kids movie, pretty formulaic. But every time I see it, which I watched it again today in preparation for this, I was like, this is the longest music video for the song Secrets by One Republic
Oh my God.
I've ever seen.
Like when he does the light show, that's like the jumping the shark moment, at least for me. Or was that before or after Nic Cage is just housing sandwiches? Because that's one of the best
After.
parts.
Yeah.
It's right after it. It's right
Okay.
after
Yeah.
the pickle waggling scene, which
Yes.
is one of my favorite ones from that film.
I will say, because we haven't watched these movies in over a year now,
Right.
I absolutely loved going back to The Wicker Man because it's so dumb and it's so bad.
It is bad and dumb and like
So much fun.
clunky and
The
like,
writing is terrible.
It was so much more fun to watch this one with someone, like watching this with Peter, because the dream within the dream sequence,
oh yeah.
which I still maintain should have ended with a third dream where he just gets hit by a semi-truck and wakes up a third time.
You know that got kicked around the writer's room. You know
Of course it
for a
did.
fact that they were like, is that too much? Yeah, it's probably too much.
Too many
Yeah.
dreams inside of dreams.
I mean-
This is pre-Inception, so
You know, fucking Nolan being this great director, and he just stole the train thing
Yeah.
from this movie.
come at us, Christopher Nolan. Don't do
No,
it.
don't. I cannot afford
Don't.
that lawsuit.
Same. We love your movies.
Allegedly.
What was in that bag? I just want to
Oh, yeah,
know.
the shark bag.
What was in the bag? Is that a shark?
It's
I don't know.
dripping.
I do appreciate that this movie does go so far out of its way to like justify everything dumb about it, to like explain it away within the scope of the film. Cause he's a terrible detective. So they make sure to like make a joke about him. Like, what are you going to go for, detective?
Yeah.
He has no reasoning skills. It's just, so bad.
Yeah. I struggle with this movie. I enjoy it. And I enjoy just like watching it being dumb. But at the same time, I find it so hard to like anything about it. Like, I'm going to house this mead and now I'm going to start slamming my badge around and just threatening people. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Did you guys end up watching the original Wicker Man?
I had seen the original years ago. I haven't rewatched it since we watched it for recording our episode of it. But it was more tightly done. It wasn't as absurd and over the top. And I wasn't sure what they were going for with the Nic Cage version, because Cage does play it sort of straight, but a little wild, and then completely loses his mind at the end of the film.
He does go full Cage.
It's fair to think that you had hit a breaking point at some moment during all of this.
I did say one of my favorite parts of the film, like if you can just pluck it out of context, because I thought it was the most sincere bit of acting in the whole thing, is when he finally gets a cell signal, like right at the very end, and his like buddy calls him. That is exactly the phone call you would get from me if I found myself in that situation. It's like, please help. Are you
God,
there?
Pete, help me.
Yeah. It's just pure panic.
I'm in a bear suit. I don't know. I don't know how I got here.
All the shit they put him through for this, like,
Noble knight.
yeah, the noble knight thing, coming of his own accord. I mean, all that was true before everything else, him just showing up. Like, so this was just them fucking with him.
Yeah, they could have just snatched him and burned him, I'm guessing, but like according to the rules of whatever fertility spell I guess they're casting. And then instead they're like, nah, we only do this every couple of years. Let's have a little fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Roll out Beasting Man. Let him see that guy.
Oh, what? Or the woman covered in bees.
Do you think those two are connected? Beasting Man and Bee Girl?
100%.
Yeah, he was in recovery.
Yeah. If I was in this situation and I showed up on this island, if they were like, oh, yeah, this is your child, I'd be like, well, great. I'm a terrible swimmer, but peace. I'm fucking just swimming out. I never would have gotten into this problem.
Yes. Well, they said it was only a couple miles. It'd be slow, but I could do it.
I would drown, and that'd be fine too.
Yeah.
Better than what
Better than
happened.
child support.
Or burning to death after being hobbled.
Yeah.
Going with drowning over burning to death, you do a real complete opposites there. Will it work?
So it's only on the rewatch that I noticed that, like, they completely this is supposed to be for their harvest, to like make sure that the honey is sweet or whatever. But
What do we want from honey? I don't even know.
they completely fuck up the rest of their, like, island's little economy, or because the guy who brings them all their stuff that isn't honey, they kill for this.
What they do
The
to his
pilot.
face. Like, it looked like he had weird, like, I don't know, wicker threads, like, sewing his
Yeah.
mouth shut.
And he had weird wicker hands
yeah,
too.
like
Yeah.
cut his hands off and gave him little, like, spiky things.
But, like, that's
That's
the guy
fucking weird.
yes, that's the guy who brings them all their supplies. And, like,
Yeah, they kind of fucked themselves over on that one.
well, the whole thing, like, the whole big reveal of the Wicker Man at the end is they only mention the Wicker Man, like, once in the movie before that. So there's no real big reveal. It just is there.
It's occurring to me for the first time. How did you not catch a glimpse of that fucker at some point while you're running around the island?
Yeah.
He's all over the place in that fucking island.
They
He's
put
riding
a
his
blue
bike
tarp
everywhere.
over it. It's fine. It's just 60-foot tall blue tarp. Yeah. They just put some bee wings on it, and Nic Cage, like, instinctively won't look at it. He's like, oh, fuck no, the bees.
I don't know. It's also one of those movies where I'm just like, how good can it be that its most memorable scene was deleted?
Well, it's from the extended cut, right?
The not the bees, they're in my eyes.
Not the bees.
Yeah, I think we watched the scene. We
did
watched
watch
it
it,
together, but
yeah.
It doesn't add anything except for him just being absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
well, the audio was already included. Now you just see it instead of it being a black screen. It's like,
he never says the bees thing. It's the hobbling that
Yeah.
they did the black screen.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I
Fair.
think there's no footage of him being hobbled that we know of.
Just him being pulled up by his ankles after the hobbling just is insult to injury at that point.
I mean, I think it's injury to injury at that point, but
Well, they don't care at that point. He's going to die anyway in 6
Yeah.
minutes.
just hot meat.
Yeah. Barbecued
death.
wieners.
Burned to death by his own daughter.
I still like the thing. We said this in our first episode, first go around of this, and I just like, he's like, no, honey, don't burn daddy. And it's like,
Don't burn
obviously,
daddy.
obviously she doesn't give a shit about you, dude.
Was that a Don't Wake Daddy,
Yes.
the board game
Yeah.
reference? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna move past it personally, but here we are.
No, it's my one joke.
It is. He uses it all the time. It's just don't burn daddy.
I will say both of these movies include one of my favorite niche types of scenes, which is an adult character saying an insane thing to a child. So you have "Don't burn daddy," and you have Melina going, "You are wasting my time" to a 10-year-old Dave in the fucking magic shop when he gets broken out of the prison.
when Melina, I'm just gonna throw this in here now, critiques the Napoleon report. Also, why was that kid? He's like 10. That's 4th grade. Why is he writing reports on Napoleon?
I agree with that 100%, but I did love the scene where he's roasting that. He's like, your prose was weak. He's like, I was a fucking child. He's like, no, Jesus, play like a champ.
No, that was probably the best interaction there.
Did you guys find anything new with Wicker Man watching it recently?
I forgot that James Franco was in it.
And John Ritter.
Jason Ritter.
Jason Ritter.
Peter, you'd mentioned like, oh, here's that weird like take me with you scene that never goes anywhere, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
no, she says it at the end.
Right.
She's practicing for when
practice.
she like is gonna seduce Franco. She's a little old for
Bar
Franco,
boys.
allegedly.
Is it allegedly at this point? Come at me, James Franco.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Every time I rewatch it, one of the weirdest things that I like that just bothers me, because I don't know what they were going for, was the teacher also playing like a farmer who's like, I have no idea who the fuck you are.
Yeah, the
And I
twin. It's
yeah.
just the twin
know
thing.
why.
Sister Rose and Sister Thorn. That
Well,
the
'cause-
twin thing just in general kind of grinds my gears because twins are so gross, and they've also got those like shitty old ladies, like, and they're not.
And the Wicker Man will
Ugh.
come.
No, I would have asked for the day off if I was on set and they were filming that. I'd be like, no, gross, no.
Yeah, there's well, and there's a bunch of
That's
like
the worst
little kid
double mint
twins.
gum commercial ever.
But no, like, is that what they were going for? Were they going for her being like the next set of twins because this place is all cyclical, or was it just the teacher fucking with them? Because that's what I read it as. It was just like, now you're just being really blatant with this guy, and I think he's starting to get suspicious.
a lot of twin children. Like a lot of the girls were twins in the school and outside of it. Also, when he goes to like when he just starts kicking in doors and asking like to see kids.
Oh yeah.
And there's the one child who's like pre-hiding in a closet to like scare him.
Oh yeah, pretending to be dead. It's
Yeah.
like, why were you in that closet?
This is our fun harvest game.
They don't show you the 5 other houses with like kids like waiting in the closet and they get no
Yeah.
payoff.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe next time, kiddo, you know?
I guess they alluded to that with the crow in the desk early on. Like, we put it in there to see how long it could take it. And they just do that to kids. When I was a kid, like in preschool, the other kids put me in a closet and just locked me in there for a while.
This is a metaphor.
No,
Nope.
that's my life.
Just because you were a nerd.
Yeah, well, joke's on them. I threw blocks at all their heads.
Jokes on
There
them.
you go.
I have a Nic Cage podcast now.
Yeah. Come at me, other kids.
Fucking kids. They suck.
Yeah.
So if you punch one person on the island, do you also get to punch their twin? Or
Yes.
okay.
Does their twin feel it?
That's the important question.
I do love all
But
his,
on the opposite side.
I do love all his sweet roundhouse kicks and all his like just like chest kicking.
Yeah, combat training in California is top notch.
Yeah, for chips cops.
department, Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask where he got the like fucking MMA chops to just lay waste to this island of women with, because they don't give you any of that in the setup. He just sort of gets blown up.
As far as like MMA credentials in quality of beating up women, that's a poorly structured sentence. His ability to beat up women being unparalleled on the island is what?
Go on.
Please continue.
Can't wait to get canceled over this.
We haven't been if we haven't
It's
been canceled
amazing
by
that we
now.
haven't said something that got us.
That's because
Well, the
no
trick
one's
is you just
listening.
don't have a feminine audience, and these are never going to be problems.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, if you just start a Nic Cage podcast, you know women aren't going to listen.
Yeah, this is a real dudes rock podcast.
It's all fucking chest hair and cum gutters. Come on.
So you're saying
He beats up women real good. I don't know where I was going with it, but I like it. They're obviously doing something right down in California.
No, but I do like this, like with a lot of some of the Cage movies that we've seen, where it's like they clearly threw in shit just because it was cool, not because it made narrative sense. Like he disguises himself as a bear, and as soon as he gets to where people are, he removes. He's like, "It's me. I'm the bear." And it's just like, why even do it then, dude? There's nothing gained from it.
I just remembered one of my favorite things, and that's when he's at Sister Summers Isles' place, and she's telling it like he's leaving, and she opens the door, and she's like, "Oh, your transport is here." As the like butler hands him his bicycle, it's like, "Your transport has arrived," and he fucking all the time he spends just pushing that bike around, not actually riding it. I imagine it was like hell on his butthole because there were like no paved roads, so just rough dirt roads, just pounding away.
I forgot about that awkward scene.
Well, the one where he gets his butthole pounded by a bicycle. That's in the extended cut.
Yes.
Also, do you think Cage, because specifically because what you were saying, you're like, that had to be uncomfortable. Do you think he got to a point he's like, nope, find a reason for me to be pushing the bike in this scene. I'm not fucking riding it in a fucking suit anymore. I won't do it. Call my agent.
I don't know that Nic Cage has ever said no to anything.
Yeah, he's a method actor. He got into it. He rode that bike to the set.
There you go.
Any final thoughts on this film? Anyone?
Entertaining, man.
It's a lot of fun. It's dumb and it's a lot of fun.
We did it for Halloween. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah.
It's one of those weird movies where you have to like really focus on it, but like not focus on what's happening. It's like you just have to pay attention enough to understand why the movie is still playing.
It's one of those things
But
where,
don't start asking questions.
it's one of those things where it has the opening where he like the car gets pulled over and like the car that gets hit by the semi truck, but like that has nothing to do with the movie.
Fuck that little girl too, though. Throwing
throwing
that
the doll.
back out a
Asshole.
second time.
You guys
Like-
reminded me of one thing that we brought it up when we first watched it, but I want your guys' take on it. So the like other police officer, the lady cop,
Yeah.
is part of the cult on the island. Did you catch her in like the crowd
No.
at
Oh.
the end? Like we had a whole
Ooh.
discussion, went back and forth. It was like, isn't that the lady cop who kept visiting him when he was all depressed and shit about the mom and daughter burning to death? And she's there at the end in the crowd of cultists.
That's kind of fucked up.
That's very bizarre.
It's
Do you think
fucked
that's
up, but
just-
it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
Do you think they're just reusing the actress?
Yeah,
Or
I think
like
that could be budgetary.
we could only get so many people to agree to be in this movie, and or what if it's a twin? What if it's her twin?
Oh,
Oh shit.
that's the only way it would make sense, actually, because like I thought it was like they're like, oh, let's put the lady cop who was like being nice to him, because this whole thing is a setup top to bottom. It's like, but
Mhm.
then you just said like you just send these ladies out to baby trap a dude to kill him for the harvest, you know, like 7 years later or whatever. So how has she got a full-time police job and still doing this? But the twin thing, that you might have solved the mystery for me, and now that's not going to bother me anymore. I
I
like
just
that.
fixed Wicker Man.
Yes, you did.
Good job.
No more
I
plot hole there.
I apologize for fixing this already perfect movie.
I my notes from the first time we watched this are still incredibly applicable. I said, what was the point of anything? And then this movie slaps, it wins.
Agreed.
By the end of this film, Peter and I were just like laughing our asses off. Like, this movie's awful and I can't stop watching
It's
it.
so dumb. It's so dumb. But man, it is fun.
I also forgot when he's going to get like his daughter from the pyre, like the fake
Mhm,
burning, when he's going to get her, like he just punches that woman too.
Yeah, our rules really
Yeah.
didn't comply most of his actions.
Well, just because we have the rules doesn't mean he's going to obey the rules. Like
that's true.
he's
We established rules outside of that.
Yeah.
he's punching women, and maybe it doesn't fit our rules of acceptability.
He's not. He's just. I don't think he's a good guy.
But he's good at punching women.
Bad cop.
So on that note,
Bad
He is
cop.
a bad cop.
Bad cop. Bad kid.
yeah.
Oh,
Good movie,
Yeah.
good Cage.
where does this fit for you on the Venn diagram of a good movie, good cage, bad movie, bad cage, good, bad, bad, good?
Bad movie, unbelievable Cage. It is two separate circles.
Unbelievable opens up like just a undefined quality, like unbelievable bad, unbelievable good.
Back because I think we've watched something like 80 some movies at this point, right? We used to rank our movies, and we just stopped doing it because it's like there's too many. We cannot continue doing this. So we had two rankings in particular. One was Nic Cage performance, and one was Nic Cage unhinged performance.
Yeah.
Those are separate things.
Those are two. Well, because all right, for example, I'm going to pull a movie out of the air. Moonstruck.
Love it.
Moonstruck has an unbelievable unhinged scene. Multiple unhinged scenes, actually, because you also have the scene where he essentially sexually assaults Cher. So, I mean, that happens.
Cher had some unhinged lines in that scene, too.
Right. But, oh my God, she did. But when he's not being unhinged, he's still being really good. Josh, I'm blanking on a movie. What's a movie where like Nic Cage was not good, but had some incredible unhinged scenes?
Zandali.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Spirit of Vengeance is a very good one.
Bad Man Speech. Bad Man Speech was worth the whole fucking movie. I watched the whole movie just for that
He
scene.
was horrendous in that movie, but that scene was amazing. And don't talk shit on Zandali.
I wasn't.
Love Zandali.
That movie fucks. That movie fucks so hard. He's gonna black it all out, and he's gonna put cocaine in a woman's butthole. Because that happens.
You're our kind of guys.
I cannot believe Judge Reinhold did that. Did that film, signed on to that film. That's so fucking crazy.
The movie is so fucking good.
But yeah, no, I'm in full agreement with Rich. I'm not gonna lie to the listenership and say it's a good movie. It's not a good movie, but it is entertaining. And Nic Cage's performance is what makes it that. It's worth the watch just for that.
Yeah, if you put John Travolta in this movie, it's not nearly as good.
No.
Same. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, this movie exists because and is only worth talking about because of Nic Cage.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible movie and a wild performance.
Yes.
So
I'm inclined to agree. But again, rewatching it, there's so much intention, and they paid so much attention to like the narrative and trying to make sure everything made sense, even though none of it does. But they tried so hard, and I appreciate that. I love when people try and produce terrible things.
I will say this, even if you omit Nic Cage's performance or you don't grade it on his performance, I would take this movie over City of Angels. It's going to be there are movies that are just
Left Behind, you know.
Yeah. Mostly the God stuff are just not going to make
Next.
my cut. Yeah.
Next.
No,
Although Next had some shit in it.
Next
that is
had great has
a great exploding.
10 out of 10 Jessica Biel explosions.
Yeah.
10 Jessica Biel's
A
explosions.
perfect 7 out of
10.
5.
I'm not going to take the next bait because I listened to a couple of your guys' episodes, but I specifically didn't listen to this one to see if you got into it because I wanted to ask it myself. So you mentioned City of Angels.
Yeah.
And I noticed in some of the episodes that I did listen to, I was like, oh, these guys are just like me for real. It's just making, talking about Nic Cage movies and making dick jokes. So when we watched City of Angels, we got derailed for like 45 minutes straight asking the question of when an angel becomes a transubstantiated human being, are they circumcised or not? And I'd love you guys to weigh in on that.
I mean, I would think uncircumcised, right? Like,
I would think it's biblical, right? You're gonna make
Yeah, but it's something
But
that
you're
has
back
to be
to
done.
like your original true form. But
Well,
yeah, I guess fuck you.
My
would be-
question.
Okay,
Wait,
hold on.
were there female angels or it was all just dudes, right? Dude angels?
there were big crowds of angels. All of
Uh,
the angels we directly saw were dude angels, but
Yeah.
I'm not
But
saying there weren't.
do they have dicks when they're angels?
What's an angel need a dick for?
Exactly.
Dogma has said no.
Dogma has said no.
Right.
So we
When he becomes a human, like clearly there would be a dick he has to urinate, right?
I mean, he does have sex at one point.
yeah.
I
The
mean,
one time
it's in the
one
shower.
time he gets it.
Yeah, he has the worst sex in the world because it's shower sex, and nobody likes shower sex.
The
Oh
other-
my God,
and
it's
the
so
other angel,
dry.
the guy who
For
looks
so
like
wet,
Ron
it's so
Jeremy.
dry.
The other angel had children, so I guess that you do get a dick.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts and my
the guy who's not Ron
reasoning
Jeremy.
for saying circumcised. When he wakes up on the ground, Nick Offerman says he's like bloody. There you go. Where'd that blood come from? Foreskin.
He caught it on the way down.
Yeah, and it just tore off.
That's the fall.
Yeah.
So
Well,
when
they
you become
didn't
human,
have time to organize a bris, so
they Rubes Goldberg it.
God,
like
God
God,
works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
like a couple
To the
marbles
insane.
rolled down some scaffolding, and pretty soon you've just got foreskin hanging off of
I
a
think
windowsill.
we fucking solved this shit.
Yeah.
That's how he didn't die from the fall. The slow descent.
Like a cartoon, his foreskin gets caught on something and then just snaps at the last second, so it only actually falls like 2 feet.
yeah, exactly that. I think
All right,
we
yeah,
solved
I'm
it.
so glad I waited to ask that in person because that's
Yeah.
exactly
No.
what I was hoping for.
I think we actually just fixed that movie too.
Yeah.
So do we have to go back and rewatch
No,
it?
now I like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
They don't even get the musical cues right. I was so mad at that. Like, they have the fucking Goo Goo Dolls song, the song that this movie was written around. Like, you cannot convince me otherwise. They're playing the song, and then the song fades out, and it shows fucking, what's her name, Meg Ryan in the cabin. And the song is still kind of going on in the background a little bit, like just very, very faintly. There's a knock at the door. And the song cuts out. She opens the door, and it's Nic Cage. And I was like, okay, here comes like the fucking I don't want the world to see me part, like really nice and loud. And they fucking miss it. And that's what angered me the most about that fucking movie.
See, for me, it was everything else in the movie.
Okay, so for me, it was when he like finally like becomes human, he suddenly like when he's an angel, he speaks every language. But when he becomes human, he speaks English. When I think he should be speaking like ancient tongues and like not be able to communicate with anyone.
God works in mysterious ways,
Yeah.
man.
God works in English.
Every Bible I've seen is in English, so
That's fair.
convince me otherwise.
If the Mormons have taught me anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Man is made in God's image, and God's image is
A white dude.
yeah. I didn't know if I was actually going to be allowed to finish that sentence, but white Anglo-Saxon English speaking, circumcised.
Yeah, obviously blonde hair, blue eyes, baby.
And fucking cut his shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
How
Cum
Catholic
gutters.
Jesus is cut his shit.
Well, he was up on that cross.
Crucifixion is really good for your core.
But it's also a really shitty way to spend Easter.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, the natural transition into Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Nic Cage doing magic. Love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Balthazar's lines are awesome. I just love him shitting on
Dave Baruchel, or the
Yeah.
one that plays the young version of him.
both of them.
Yeah.
They're both worthy of being picked on. But like everything he fucking says is great. He's just weird and wild, and I don't have specific. The character is just so extra. And I love his wild ass old car. I love all the old man shoe jokes. Old man shoes really get me. His weird arm warmers, like on his forearms. Like his outfit is so stupid. It's like a high school girl in the early 2000s who's into like the emo scene put together his outfit.
Stage crew in high school. That was the
Yes.
uniform.
Oh fuck, that's exactly it.
I do love how when
That's
it goes.
gross because I just saw my face in that, and it's like, oh man, damn it, I would have worn that. That's sick as shit.
I do love when they go through like the history of his immortal life and how he's always like kind of dressed to the nines for whatever era he's in, and then he gets to the mid-aughts and it's just like, I'm going to cosplay as
Harry Dresden.
Harry Dresden.
Yeah.
To the point where he's like, I'm going to get a hat that doesn't fit my head and stand atop of buildings.
You mentioned his cool car. Did you guys know that was Nic Cage's actual car?
We did, yeah. We talked
All
about that,
right.
I believe, when we watched it. But
It's cool though, right?
yeah, that is cool.
It's a neat fucking vehicle. I'll give him that.
Did you know that there was an actual car crash during this that injured 2 pedestrians?
That I did not.
Nope.
Yeah, during the chase scene when Alfred Molina, he's like in a Ferrari, right? And that's when they're doing all the mirror stuff.
Yeah, the mirror stuff. That was a good one. That was a good car chase.
Well, when they were filming it, something went wrong and it crashed like into a Starbucks, and it injured 2 pedestrians.
Fuck.
I honestly see nothing wrong with this. Fuck up a Starbucks and like
If I was one of the pedestrians injured, I would dine out on that story all the time. Just be like,
yeah.
don't worry, I'll get the bill. I got this with my Sorcerer's Apprentice settlement money.
Yeah.
I got hit by a Ferrari in a Starbucks.
Driven by Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina kind of steals this movie for me because he does not give a fuck.
Oh,
He's just
yeah.
chewing that scenery.
Yeah, he owned his role and he really brought his A game. I enjoyed him a lot, just as much as I liked the Chris Angel wannabe.
Yeah.
Toby
Toby
Kebbell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The bad monkey from the second Planet of the Apes film.
sure.
He was.
I only watch Nicolas Cage movies, so you talk to me
Yeah,
about
at this
other ones,
point,
and
it's
I'm
like,
not going to know what you're saying. But I love the scene when he's bullying
Dave.
Dave in the bathroom.
What's the line? It's like, do you know who I am? It's like, are you in Depeche Mode? And your response to that was, that's a joke for no one watching this movie.
Yeah. The core demographic of that movie is not going to know who Depeche Mode is.
Well, I still ask the same questions, like, who is this movie for? Because it's mildly like,
It's for Jerry Bruckheimer.
yeah, but it's like, it's kind of a kid's movie, but there's a weird sex pest element where he's still in love with the same girl from when he was 10, and he kind of looks up her skirt when they meet
Yeah,
as
there was
adults.
the crotch
Yeah,
looking.
it's-
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
This movie was at least partially for Nic Cage. Apparently, he was a big part of getting it made because he wanted to play a magical character, which
Yeah.
that tracks 100% for me.
He got to use his really bad, like, New York cop accent for a
Oh
scene.
man, that was
The cop scene was so
Oh, that
funny.
was so good.
So funny.
it
I
was
actually
good.
enjoyed that bit.
I do want to point out he does hit a woman in this movie, but it's Alfred Molina disguised as a woman, which I'm pretty sure is a hate crime. I broke Nick.
No, I mean I'm not broken. I'm just also like trying to figure out like
That just reminds me of the It's Always Sunny scene. Dude, is that a hate crime? I think it is.
But yeah, no, he flings her into a wall because she mistakes his Cantonese for Mandarin. That's what gives away the game. Not just a hate crime, but one including magic, which I think carries additional charges. I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer.
I fucking hate that One Republic song.
Yeah, I swear to God, dude. This movie and G-Force were the like two that we've seen that just had
G-Force.
Boom, boom, pow.
egregious overuse of one song.
Yeah.
But what about the nodes, man? What about the nodes?
I don't think we watched a movie that broke me yet. Because next broke you. G-Force broke Ron. I don't think I had a breaking point movie yet.
I don't know. Next kind of broke Nick too, because Nick made up a whole ending to that movie that didn't exist.
Yeah, I Mandela affected that entire movie, and it turned out better in my head. And then as we recorded, I was like, wait, this movie sucked? Shit, this movie sucked.
One of the movies I'll guarantee you guys haven't seen yet, because I don't think anybody has seen it except for us, is The Boy in Blue.
Oh yeah, no one's watched that.
Don't. It's so boring.
You're not my dad.
I just remember watching it just going, this fucking sucks.
He's like a rower or something.
Yeah.
He's a greasy bum boy.
Oh, he's a what?
It's a line from a movie specifically talking about rower. It's like it's a biopic about that little slidey seat they have for those rowboats. Before the slidey seats, they greased their asses literally so they could slide on a static bench, and they called them greasy bum boys.
Did they? Were they bare ass?
We're just gonna isolate that and use that to get your podcast canceled. That's the whole reason we're having a.
Yes, we're eliminating competition right now.
Yeah,
there can only be one Nic Cage podcast. We're doing the same. Don't worry.
We're doing all of this just as a big middle finger to Reddit. No, is it bare-assed? I have a lot of questions now about greasy bum boys.
No, they're just ruining pants. It makes way less sense. At no point does it make any sense. And it's extra confusing because Cage is more shredded in that film than he's ever been, and they shaved his whole chest and did like several super horny chest pan downs.
They always shave his chest when he gets in shape. When he shaves his chest, you know you're gonna get a good Nicolas Cage. Like, I'm gonna sleep funny.
I'm sorry. I'm also losing it a little bit because I was here earlier with Nick and we were trying to fix some shit for the audio that was fucked up. And he was like, "Well, I've got nothing to do except make Sean's pictures not level." And I just realized he just unleveled a bunch of Sean's shit on the wall.
I never would have noticed.
Yeah.
I don't look at my shit.
I like to make pictures crooked, and I like to turn the toilet paper around in the bathroom.
Oh, did you do that?
Oh, you're a monster.
Oh, that would drive me
I didn't
crazy.
do that one today, but I like to do that at parties. Like, if I go to a party and like everybody's having a good time, I do that just because now everybody's gonna, like, all the women are gonna go to the bathroom and they're gonna judge the host of the party, unjustly.
I'm gonna quote Peter here. I'm like, you know you're a criminal, right?
Yeah. Allegedly.
That behavior reminds me when I was in high school, my big thing is I always carried around a screwdriver with me, and I just anywhere I was, I would just take a screw out of it and just chuck it out. So by the end of high school, like, doors are falling off stalls and bathrooms and shit.
That's amazing. I love this.
Great.
It's just mild, like long con chaos. When I was in my electrical apprenticeship, we had a motor controls lab that had, all sorts of stuff and whatnot. And a lot of them involved some indicator lights that you would wire up. And every time I would leave, I would make sure to unscrew the light bulb just enough that there wouldn't be contact, so that the next person who comes in would just worry about their wiring and never check that the light bulb was screwed in, and then waste all of their class time being like, "Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working?" I'd also take the batteries out of the remotes for the projectors so that the instructors would not be able to turn the projectors on.
That's chaotic.
Diabolical, dude.
I have really bad ADHD and zero impulse control. So
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Like, I'm trying to, in my own head, figure out like how they got to this film, because the only connection to Disney is the mop scene.
There's a bunch of like Disney product placement shit. There's like a Buzz Lightyear alarm clock early on.
That I know. I just meant in terms of like, I guess they just made a movie about wizards and then threw Disney stuff in it.
Yeah, that's basically what they did. They just crammed Disney shit into a wizard movie because Nic Cage was like, "Yo, I'll be in a wizard movie for you." That's
he was based on Yen Sid, who in Fantasia, Mickey Mouse is the apprentice.
Yeah.
His master is Yen Sid.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yes, exactly.
That scene's so short, like from Fantasia.
It was pretty short in this movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's famous, so that's what matters.
If that's what his character's actually based on, is this like a Pirates of the Caribbean thing where they originally had a script for a Dresden movie and they're like, no, we got to make it a Disney thing?
Maybe.
Whereas Pirates was originally, the script was The Secret of Monkey Island, that they're like, we need to put Johnny Depp in it.
I was not aware of that.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I choose to believe that's true. I heard that somewhere and I choose to believe it's true.
Yeah.
Just alternative facts here. That's all.
God, I can't wait for H Bomber Guy to do a 6-hour video on this podcast.
That would be great.
Oh, I wish we were in the plagiarism video. God damn it. We got to plagiarize more.
Oh my God. I loved that video. I saw that was up at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I saw it was 4 hours. I'm like, I'm going to start this. 2 a.m. I'm in my bed with my tablet, just like glued to that screen.
What is even this? You talk about things. Why? So there's podcasters. Are they ripping off other podcasts, or are they just podcasting about podcasts? Because I feel like we'd really make it if some other podcast did an episode just reporting on our podcast.
Oh yeah, no, we would really arrive.
Unless it's an in memoriam.
Well,
The most in the know thing, I guess, right now is, do you know about the Illuminati drama?
I mean, I do
No.
now because I watched that video.
Well, no, I just happened to know about that because I knew about like sad milk and shit.
Mm-hmm.
These are so many words. Like,
Yeah.
I know Illuminati, sad milk.
And that just happened like 4 months ago. So that's just, it's like, you know what's going on? Like, that's what the H Bomber guy video was about.
He doesn't know what's going on.
I have no
Yeah.
clue.
Tell us about sad milk.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. Okay, I don't know what's going on. What's that?
Yeah,
about?
I'm up on almond milk and soy milk, but what's sad milk? How do you milk sadness?
This podcast.
Dry. It's a very dry milking.
Long story short is
Masturbation. That's the joke there.
Yes,
Sad milking. Yep. Okay, you got there.
there you go.
Wait, does anybody know when did Disney get the rights to Star Wars? Because there were several Star Wars references. in
That
this
was
too.
2012, I want to say.
Oh, so they just threw those in there before they even owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I don't know. I don't know what they were going for with this, other than, like I said, Nic Cage was like, I'll be in a weird wizard movie, and they're like, all right, let's just see what we got lying around.
Call up John Turtletub.
Oh yeah, Turtle Top.
Turtletop.
Yeah, because this was our double Turtletub, because this was
Yeah.
matched up against National Treasure
National
yeah.
Treasure 2.
2. Yeah, the first time we had
Which,
it.
yeah, we watched the second National Treasure first. I think we put that one in the weird one because we needed to balance things out, and I thought it was weird that they made a second National Treasure.
Well, it also is a little weirder than the first one. The first one tries to be a little more realistic or
Indiana
something,
Jonesy.
but yeah.
Yeah, for a movie about stealing the Declaration of Independence, they really tried to sell it as an honest to God like documentary.
Listen, man, they use the lemons with the gloves.
I mean, what I didn't like about the first one was that I was told the movie was about stealing the Declaration of Independence, and they do it in the first like 18 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, so what's the rest of it about? And I was bored the rest of the time.
The rest of the movie is 2 hours.
I will say, for a Brockheimer film, Sorcerer's Apprentice, not that long. Hour 40.
Yeah, no, it was
pretty
fine.
tight.
It was great.
All right,
no,
any actual thoughts on this fucking movie?
It's a lot of fun. I really, despite the music in this film, because I mean, all music in that time was awful. This is my old man soapbox. This movie knows what it is, and everyone in it cares just enough to ham it up, and I love it.
If you could change the music to something else kind of the period, where would you go? I would go with some new metal.
Yeah.
Say, just give me some straight Pig Destroyer grindcore.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Godsmack.
It would be so out of place.
It'd just be the song Voodoo over and over. It's like, this doesn't fit the pacing, but god damn it.
Oh, that
If
song's
they don't
so
know-
long. You could just you don't even need to repeat it. You just have
You just start it at the beginning of the movie and,
And
let
then it runs
play
for
out.
90 minutes.
That's the entire background music for the whole film. It would make me sit up and be like, what the fuck is going on here?
It would have been way funnier because like 2010 is kind of when that like Tumblr pop punk stuff started coming out. It would have been way funnier to have that.
I don't know. With this movie, I thought it's a formulaic kids movie. They threw in all of the fun tropes, and it's fine. But my primary complaint is that they overused one song and just
Yeah.
started grating on my nerves. But the rest of it, almost everybody was typecast well, and it worked. It was just somebody just hammered this out. I was looking at my notes. They had 3 different writers with wildly varying backgrounds. So that's what they did. The casting director is like, here's who we're working with. And they're like, we got it. We'll have it done in 45 fucking minutes. Don't worry about it. And then just threw it together.
I don't know why this one line just bothers me and boggles in my mind so much. But when he's tells his girlfriend that he's a wizard and that magic's real, her response to that is, and I thought my last boyfriend was interesting. He wore a scarf. Like, that's not the exact line, but she was just like, she talks about like Scarf Dude being her last boyfriend and like that was his thing.
We do see some Scarf Dude in the movie.
Yeah,
I can't
twice.
remember where. Yeah.
He works at the radio station and he's having coffee with her. They're having their nighttime coffees.
It is funny that she's super chill about it. She's like, yeah, last boyfriend was a scarf one. The one before that was really into model trains. So, all right, I can deal with wizard. Like, I got some background here. Yeah.
And so her one character thing is she's afraid of heights, conquers that to like help redirect the magical sigil,
which uses satellites.
And then he's like, you want to go to France? Get on this giant metal eagle that I just learned how to control.
Yeah, don't worry about heights or falling to your death.
Well, she conquered the fear. That means it never bothers you ever again.
You know what?
Right. It's true.
I've been forced to like deal with a spider or two in my time, and I still don't fucking want them in my house.
Correct.
Listen, every house needs at least 2 spiders. I don't care what you say.
That's why I bring one every time I come here.
Yeah. That's a good call.
It's behind the crooked pictures.
I was gonna say, somebody who is tilting all of your pictures, I take that very seriously. I'm assuming every time he's just like, there you go, buddy. New
My
home.
threats should always be considered. That's how I feel about it. It's like I should just live at such a degree that everybody has to question whether I'm serious.
Is he telling the truth right now? Fuck. Do I need to look for spiders?
What is this greasy bum boy telling me?
If you really want to fuck with people from here on out, just carry an empty like those mini quart containers you get from a Chinese food restaurant, just an empty one in your pocket and just leave it in their house. Be like, did he bring spiders in that? Why is it empty right now?
I think this is a pretty good movie. It's pretty tight. The script is pretty there aren't like holes in it. It moves well. It's paced pretty good.
When we watched it, we described it as this is a movie that you could put on with your kids and you will probably also not hate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not G-Force.
Thank God.
My head just told me that this movie is kind of like a Dave Navarro album where it's just like super plastic and easy to like digest, but it's not gonna change you in any way.
As one of 5 people who at one point owned Dave Navarro's solo album, I feel called out by that statement.
Hey, I owned it too, man.
Oh, you did?
Wait, you were one of the 14 people to buy that?
Yeah. Apparently Nick was too.
Yeah, you got two of 14 right here.
2 of 14.
What are the fucking odds?
Yeah, and we were in different states. No doubt.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was benign. We run into a lot of that with kids movies. Like, it's kind of hard to shit all over a kids movie. You know what I mean?
It's not G-Force exists.
That's true.
I
fucking love shitting on kids.
Every once in a while, like you hit something like G-Force, you're like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe Sam Rockwell agreed to this.
Also a Brockheimer.
How much do they pay people to be in those things? Because like G-Force had so many names in it. And it was just awful. And the kids don't get anything out of it. It's just service for the adults who have to watch it. But then they don't even do anything cool with them.
I don't know. It's got to be a big paycheck, very low lift for like the actors and actresses. I guess to pitch that kind of CGI budget to a studio, you got to be like, we got Penelope Cruz signed onto it. And they're like, all right, well.
We got Penelope Cruz. We also have
Tracy Morgan. That's the balancing act you have to get. Right.
You have Nic Cage being the only one who's actually doing a voice too.
That was also super weird. Nic Cage was the only one who came to work on that one.
Yeah.
So fucking bizarre.
Tracy Morgan reminded me of, like, ever watched 30 Rock when he was being Garfield? And he was like, hey, I'm Garfield. I hate Mondays. Lasagna. Okay, give me my paycheck.
Wait, you mean Chris Pratt as Garfield?
Listen, Chris Pratt is currently just locked in a room, and they are just forcing him to ruin our childhood.
I don't think they're forcing him to do anything.
To be fair, putting out a Garfield movie doesn't ruin my childhood. It just reinforces.
It reinforces how terrible Garfield is.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck, that's still around?
Fuck you, Jim Davis. Come at me, Jim Davis.
It's like might as well make a Kathy movie.
Yeah.
No.
Any final thoughts for Sorcerer's Apprentice on any of you guys?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good performance. I give it the good.
I give it the good.
It's middle of the road, but it's fine. Technically proficient, except the CGI is kind of bad. But what do you expect?
I
Yeah.
think the CGI holds up pretty good for like the time frame. I don't think it's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
So
That's true.
terrible.
Well, they also did a lot of practical effects too.
I love the wizard fighting in this.
Yeah, that's good wizard fighting. I love the just casual way Melina throws the vase out the window before Nicolas Cage gets out. It's like, yeah, that's the perfect way to fight somebody who hasn't come out yet. It's like, am I
Throw him out a window.
Yeah, I'm the first one out,
That's-
right? It's like, yeah, okay, throw the vase out the window.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You guys mentioned D&D, so I'm assuming we're all the roughly same flavor of nerds.
We all have single digit body counts, so yeah.
I thought it was very D&D-ish with like the fighting and the ideas and stuff like that. And throwing the vase out the window is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, it's just player solutions.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like I'm gonna fuck this DM's day up right now. I throw the vase out the window.
Yeah, like, can I just chuck it? Can I chuck it? I chuck it.
Balthazar, when chucked out of a window, did it correctly, where he grabbed the phone flagpole rather than using his foreskin.
That's true.
There you go. So Balthazar confirmed uncircumcised.
All right, now we know. The important questions have been answered.
Yeah,
God, thank you guys.
with his hedonistic foreskin.
I'm glad my boss listens to this podcast.
Same. Hi, boss. I have a quick question though. When it comes to what movie moves on, is it the quality of movie or quality of Cage? Because these two are very different.
It's usually it can be an argument. It's never very well defined. It's
Okay. I love it. I thrive in chaos.
This is a comedy podcast at its core.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's no rules. We're just throwing rules out the window here.
we
Okay.
make,
there's
make up
rules.
rules all the time.
But like
But we don't follow them.
rules suck, and as
Much like Nic Cage doesn't follow the rules for punching women, we don't follow the rules for what we vote on.
yeah.
It's a loose guideline. But with that, what would you guys put forward? And know that your votes do not count.
That's fine. That's everything I've ever voted for.
America.
Isn't that just American democracy? I'm used to this.
At its finest.
Yeah, no, it's Wicker Man for me. But my approach to it is going off of your guys' thing. I'm just like winnowing down to the movie I'm stuck with. That's what I got from here on out. And if it's between these two, it would be Wicker Man for me.
I'm going to agree with Wicker Man. I choose to believe that the rules is what is a superior Cage, and Wicker Man is the superior Cage.
Sometimes you have an overwhelming Cage, and that will dominate which movie goes forward. Case in point.
This was a Daddy Dom Cage.
Daddy.
Ooh.
I don't know why I say it that way, because that's not how it works.
I don't know, but it worked. Well,
That's how it works now.
as someone with a dad, yeah, that's how you say daddy.
Oh, brag.
Listen, just Nic Cage with 4 floggers, just being a daddy.
All right. So Nick, what is your thoughts on this?
Yeah, usually I go with a feeling of what I want to see more, what I can stomach to keep watching, and what I would want other people to watch. So with those guidelines, it's definitely Wicker Man for me, because
Smart.
even being like maybe an inferior movie by the critic metrics, it's important to watch in the greater Cage pantheon, like Primal.
I was about to agree with you. Now I have to say Sorcerer's Apprentice. No, I was gonna say I watched Sorcerer's Apprentice with you. I watched Wicker Man with Peter, and the entire time I was watching Sorcerer's Apprentice, I'm like, this is a ride. I'm here for all of this. And Wicker Man, as unhinged and as amazing as it is, I'm just constantly just, oh God, why? Needling it. I love it. But in terms of movie I will probably continue to enjoy more. I'm going to watch Wicker Man when I want to watch a train wreck. But in terms of a movie I probably will watch again and have fun with, it's Sorcerer's Apprentice for me. Which means this comes to the rare Peter vote.
Aha! I finally have power again.
This is the second time this has ever happened.
Yeah, I can't
Primal
remember.
was the first one.
Oh, Primal! Thank fuck! I saved the day on that one.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake twice.
I've thought about
our first fight was Birdie and Wicker Man too.
Oh, that's true.
No, our first fight was Army of One and Adaptation.
which was
That's true.
episode 2, right?
Oh, that is not a great choice.
We're gonna move on from this.
Yeah, we could talk about that for a long time.
It was a tough choice. It was a tough choice, but we made the correct decision.
Also, Army of One slaps. That movie is fantastic.
It's so fucking good, and you keep watching
so
it,
good.
it gets better.
I rewatched it for this round. I'm like, no, we made the right choice here.
Yeah, I hate admitting that I like that movie as much as I do, but it is really good.
It always gets a reaction, just like Wicker Man is always going to get a reaction when you watch it, but you're going to stop reacting strongly to a movie that is just so cookie cutter as The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to agree, and my vote will be Wicker Man because it is just so stupid.
I love it. I'm
and
fine
the
with that.
entire time, I'm like, I still like it, and I'm having fun laughing,
we had so
and
much
it's
fun with
shot
that
well, and it's got like cool scenery, and it's interesting, but it's so fucking dumb. It's so cagey.
I'm fine
It
with
just
this.
has to go.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
It was a hard It was a hard choice, and yeah, I'm fine with that.
Sweet. Well, we can spend a little bit of time because we got to talk about This Week in Cage,
Oh yeah,
which is the big announcement from Cage. I'm sure you guys saw, closing his career.
in cinema.
I'm about to say in cinema, that our podcast will never die because it will become episodic. We will get to talk about one 27-minute long TV show for 2 hours
Perfect.
every week.
You guys have it figured out.
I hope he lands permanent casting as like a new detective on Law and Order SVU. That would be my dream. I'm getting out of movies, moving into TV.
He would prefer prestige television, which makes me want to go True Detective and watch him really get like freaky weird with like some, I don't know, like, well, he's real big into New Orleans, so maybe like a voodoo season. Did they do that? I don't remember.
It'll be like a voodoo, like an HBO level voodoo Bones.
Oh, I fucking hate Bones though, so don't do that. Maybe
What
he
about The
goes-
Finder?
I don't know that one.
It was a Bone spinoff,
No.
and it was worse than Bones.
Throw him into some more like Lovecraftian shit.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be such a gamble casting Cage and fucking True Detective. I'd watch the shit out of it.
Oh, of
Don't get me
course.
wrong, but it would be such a gamble.
You
They
know what?
put
Bruce
Vince
Campbell.
Vaughn in it, but I mean that was the terrible season.
Bruce Campbell's never worked with Nick Cage. Put them both in a show together.
Oh fuck, that'd be so good. Like a new
I'd
jack
watch
of all
that.
trades, and Nic Cage is like his apprentice, and Bruce Campbell has to teach Nic Cage how to, I don't know, swashbuckle.
And Patrick Warburton's the bad guy.
100% love Patrick Warburton.
So are we taking the retirement like threat seriously, or is this like a Michael Jordan thing?
No.
Or
He's going to be out of money immediately. He's going to run out of money immediately.
yeah.
Back to T-Rex skulls.
Back, yeah. Anyway, where can we find you guys on the internet? What do you got going on? Here's your time to pitch something.
Yeah, no, you can find us on formerly Twitter X at cagefight_pod.
Just Twitter. You can say Twitter. It's fine. Elon
Yeah,
Musk
I
doesn't
know.
listen.
It's terrible.
We get dead name X. It's fine. You're allowed.
I mean,
There
he's
you
going to
go.
dead name his kid. You can dead name his company.
That's turnabout is fair play in that case. But we're on there. If you're an uncle, you can find us on Facebook. We're not going to give you a link there. You'll find us if you're that kind of person. And
People
Rich,
think that we are Nic Cage on that constantly.
only messages we get on our Facebook is Nic Cage, I love your work, and scams. That's it.
We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Nic Cage Fight. We have a $1 level, which gets you all of our episodes with the ads cut out. We surgically remove them. And we also have a $10 level that will get you like all the basically uncut episodes, like the day we record it, because we run about 2 weeks behind.
Uncut episodes, so not City of Angels.
Uncircumcised episodes. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, I can provide unedited episodes and make more money on them? Are you telling me I could do less work?
For more money?
No, Peter, get back in your box. Edit, bitch.
But yeah, that's where you can find us. So
I love your guys' podcast. I watched listened to the Pay the Ghost episode early on.
that movie was trash.
Oh my god. It's such a good episode about it though. It made me really excited.
Well, thank you guys very much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. We'll have to get you guys on for I don't know, maybe a Holy Trinity episode. We can go 4 parts on it. We did 3 parts on Face Off, so
Ooh.
It would actually be great to get you guys for one of the Holy Trinity episodes, because we like went into this with our like the cagiest Cage films already firmly implanted in our minds. So with you guys having to make these like life and death decisions about which movie moves on, we'll have to have you on for one of those.
Nick and I have had words about Con Air, so that could be fun.
Oh, that was another argument, but it wasn't about whether it should go on.
No.
It was just about the relevance of Steve Buscemi.
That's true. We got really contentious about Buscemi.
It was going to be a fight.
We almost canceled the podcast.
We almost just kicked Sean off. It would have gone on.
I could be Sean.
All right, definitely going to have to pencil you guys in for Con Air. I want to see this evolve.
thank you so much for having us on here.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
whenever I finally make it out to AC, I'm definitely going to try to hit you guys up because I need to know what's going on. I need to see it.
Oh, we'll take you places.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There you
hit us
go.
up.
Oh, you know what we didn't do? We were like, hey, here's all of our stuff. Our podcast is called Nic Cage Fight.
Right. That little fact.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Speaking of that, we are on all the things as Cage_Match_pod or Cage Match Pod. You can find us on any of those. We are on Patreon if you want to support us. And thank you to our Sparkle buddies. That's the thing that my brain could not remember. Fuck me. Josh, Sean, Josie, Rico, Matt, and Adam, and Cage Dancers, Ira, John, Freeman, and Lance. And yeah.
Quick update. I am still planning on, but not there yet on our Pornhub account.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still.
We will have our episodes up on Pornhub
I'm glad you're
by
still
the end of the year.
stoking that fire.
I'm going to do it by the end of the year. You can listen to us while watching knobs.
I mean, they could do that now.
Hear knobs, watch knobs.
Just market it as 3 dudes locked in a cage.
Just a bunch of greasy bum boys.
Bye bye.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait, I'm allowed to curse on this, right? Because I curse a
Oh
lot.
fuck yeah, dude. We were listening.
Okay.
It was funny because I always like to listen to a couple episodes of whoever we're having on as a guest if they've got episodes to listen to. And this morning I was listening to your mom and dad episode because I thought that we had not advanced that one and I wanted something that wasn't going to bias me. But anyway, yeah, I was listening to you guys just swear and talk shit on Dr. Oz, and I was like, this will be fine.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Yeah, fuck away.
Yeah.
Fuck away, boys.
What is the like sketchiest thing you've ever seen in Atlantic City?
I have a fun one, and I have kind of a not tragic one. Nobody was permanently injured, but the funny one was one night at like 4 a.m. I was standing outside of a casino on the boardwalk, smoking a cigarette, and we have these like rickshaws. Like they're like little push carts that you get it, you pay somebody, and they'll push you down the boardwalk to another casino.
Seriously? Because we
yep.
have those. We have pedicabs, which are not pedophile cabs. They're like bicycle cabs, and they'll drag you around. But we don't have. I want somebody to push me.
So one of the rickshaw guys is standing out there, and I'm just having a conversation with him, and he offers me homemade beef jerky. I was 4 a.m, so I've had some drinks, and I said, "Hell yeah, absolutely! I will absolutely try a stranger's unidentified dried meats." And it was the best piece of beef jerky I've had to date.
Excellent.
Whoa, cool.
And then the slightly tragic one was I was out for like just an Atlantic City night with friends that I worked at a restaurant at the time. And so we went out and one of our friends got blackout drunk, joined a poker tournament. Like, we lost him. He called us like hours later. We had gone to a nearby bar, and he's like, I won $1,500. And we're like, awesome. We're at this bar. Just come on through. He shows up 45 minutes later, scuffed up. And we were like, what happened to you? He's like, I took the wrong way here and got beat up and my $1,500 in cash stolen from me.
Oh, sad.
I was like, I'll buy you a drink. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know what to say to that.
Didn't get stabbed.
Yeah.
Right?
Nope, no stabbing.
That's
Yeah,
good.
all right.
That's fair.
That's Atlantic City, baby.
I don't know,
So-
Peter, you can cut this one if we're actually going to use this, but I'm pitching a YouTube cooking channel called Cooking with Diesel.
It's all about food inspired by Vin Diesel movies.
That's
That's fantastic.
no, I'm stealing that. So sorry.
Well,
Stolen. It's just gonna be me drinking Corona, saying family.
Fuck yeah.
That's all
And
it's
I'm
gonna be.
I'm going to be there for your entire 101 episode run. Just fucking family. Oh, you can't curse. Just family.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Family.
If
so
that
where-
does get off the ground, please link me when you get to the Chronicles of Riddick episode.
Oh, we're gonna make some good weird food from that one.
Well, I thought, because my thing was the Pitch Black one is like one of those things where it's like, eating in the dark.
Yeah, right. It'll be one of those sensory experiences.
Oh my goodness. And it's all
Nick's
just
not allowed.
crickets.
Nick's not allowed on set. For
Oh,
that
come
episode.
on. No, let me feed you. I'll feed you like a baby.
It's gonna be
Come on.
toes every time.
Rookabye baby.
It's just always toes.